Lovely. Avian comestibles, which is posh talk for birdseed.
Hello, Birdie. Business brisk?
Not so as you notice, Mr. Holmes. After government's passed by and trade still stinks, I'll wager not much of the Queen's work got done today.
I'm sure you're right. Fred in fine form?
As always, more than once I've wished I had his disposition.
Have you spoken with Sir Avery Fanshawe recently?
Oh, not in 20 years. He's across the way now at his usual spot. Old fool thinks I ridiculed him. I told him his mixture was too rich for songbirds. Took it as a personal affront. He attracts only pigeons and blames me for it.
There's no reasoning with a man whose passion is thwarted.
Is that the voice of sadder but wiser experience, Watson? Never mind. You're spot on, and it gives me an idea. Let's feed the birds.
Why not?
Give me a mix to draw the best warblers, Mr. Hayward.
For sixpence, Mr. Holmes, I'll guarantee an exaltation of larks.
Could you play a lilting waltz for me, Birdie?
With pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
You see, with that good, we can hit the tin before we even throw it. That's fine, Watson. You've been working hard today.
Get away from here now!
Well, I can't fault him for doing his job.
Might I have a word with Sir Avery?
If you're tired of this life, you can try. Be a good lad and push off.
I'll only take a moment.
If you don't want it to be your last, don't linger. Move on now.
Your dedication to Sir Avery does you credit, but I have official business to discuss.
I'll say this once, slowly. Leave now, and nobody gets hurt. Stay, and you're for the water or worse.
Okay, I get the message. For now. These birds really do seem to like Watson.
They make an unusual pair, do they not, Watson?
If the Queen's retainers are as vigilant as Mr. Hodgkins, she is well served. A poet could describe their relationship better than a policeman.
You recognize something in yourself, Doctor. Devotion to a chosen duty.
Thank you, Holmes.
As advertised, Hodgkins is a menacing brute, and Sir Avery was oblivious.
I hope recent demands have not exhausted your imagination and left us bereft of the means for dealing with him short of force.
Efforts to overpower him would be futile, Watson, but I'm not prepared for failure. I need to capture Sir Avery's interest another way. I believe Hodgkins has the wherewithal to deliver on his threats.
Agreed. And I have no desire to test a contrary hypothesis. You'll have to fabricate a more subtle approach to Sir Avery.
Perhaps I can distract Hodgkins by dividing his devotion in disparate directions.
Sometimes your speech is perfectly opaque, Holmes. I hope your thought is less murky.
Remember what Pettigrew said about the campaign cap? With assistance from more nimble fingers, I might borrow it. What civil servant or city man wouldn't prefer these surroundings to his office?
None with a modicum of sense and the intelligence to use it.
Okay, let's feed these birds. That's why we're here. Well, that's not why we're here, but it'll help us in our cause.
Your efforts are angering the old boy.
Okay, well, we've got his attention. Let's go and find some nimble fingers.
Does Fred take instruction, Birdie?
If you mean will he do on command what he does by nature, the answer is sometimes.
I need to talk to Sir Avery. Might Fred create a diversion to occupy Hodgkins?
Not a problem.
Brilliant. I'm told the old warhorse is very fond of his campaign cap. Might Fred lift it and take him on a romp through the park?
Perfect. But he's only part of your problem. His absence is no guarantee that Fanshawe will talk. He's attuned to birds, not people.
I guess that worked pretty well.
Sir Avery, my name is Holmes. My brother is Mycroft.
Your family connections do not interest me, young man. How are you drawing those lovely birds? What are you feeding them?
My personal mixture.
Probably infused with some irresistible avian narcotic. Where might a fellow get some?
Our personal mixture that we bought just across the pathway. I guess we should show him what we've got.
Mycroft was injured in the incident that levelled the Diogenes Club.
You're Holmes' brother, are you? Why didn't you say so? Heard he'll recover. Explosions are damned nuisance. Where's a fella supposed to get his grub?
I have some questions about the termination of the investigation into the stolen formula.
Blasted committee hearings, insufferably boring. stolen formula, my Aunt Fanny. Things disappear from that room all the time, and reappear. Even if it was stolen, who cares? Talk of technical advantages, militarist nonsense. I've learned that much in my life. People don't matter. Committee is useless. I'm an old man. I don't have unlimited time. Cuts into my park visits.
Is that why you voted to terminate the investigation?
And what if it was? These birds depend on me, and me on them, I suppose. I've seen these special hearings come to nothing 100 times.
You could be wrong this once. Do you recall who initiated the demand to terminate the investigation?
Silverbridge, I think, or Lawton. I just joined the pro group, saw no evidence for theft. Holmes' nose was out of joint over the decision, very upset. I'd stand him to a large brandy at the club, smooth things over. If there was a club.
Would it surprise you to learn that Thomas Pratt has been murdered?
Among the defects of old age is that one loses the capacity to be surprised. Do you know why he was killed?
I believe he was materially involved in the formula's disappearance.
Really? You could be right, I suppose. He might have taken it. I'm sorry for him. It was a closed book. Sort of a chap with secrets. He lost his family young, lost his friends later, and now he's lost his life. And for what? Perhaps I've lived too long, Mr. Holmes. The world has grown strange and hard. It passed me by.
Sir Avery, where might I find the reading room char, Mrs. Ratchet?
Why bother her?
Just tying up some loose ends.
Wonderful woman, reliable, pleasant, been in the ministry forever. A little pink, I'm told, as if that mattered. She lives just east of Spitalfields Market. Don't know the address, appalling place. Hodgkins and I saw her home one night. Most distressing. If you find her, she's likely to be closed-mouthed. You might use my name.
Okay, I think we are done here. We can't get hold of Lawton at the moment, so let's get back to the Silverbridge residence.
The park's best season is a closely argued issue. Do you have an opinion?
It's a sterile question to me, Holmes. Weather cannot affect the park's true beauty or its inestimable value.
Hepplethwaite, I must see Silverbridge. Immediately.
What do you imagine has changed since you were last denied your wish?
Certainly not your impertinence, but as you are his keeper, I'll tell you. The probable thief of a ministry document has been brutally murdered. Silverbridge instigated the move to terminate an official investigation into the theft. You may draw your own inferences. I have drawn mine. He may speak to me now, or to Inspector Lestrade later. Announce us now, or I will bring the entire investigative apparatus of Scotland Yard and the Ministry of Defence to bear on this house.
Your reputation for subtlety is undeserved, Mr. Holmes. I'll take you in.
Okay, that should do for the moment.
Hepplethwaite, what's going on? Is he very ill?
He'll come round. Be patient for a moment. The potion usually works unless he's been abusing it.
Does this happen frequently?
He's been frail since his wife's death. Occasionally physical consequences manifest themselves.
Holmes? Did you say Holmes?
Yes, sir. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I believe.
Doesn't the child have his own room?
Of course, but he spends most of his time in here with his father. His effects are always available. I'm under instructions not to tidy.
And what does he mean by potion? This thing here? Oh. Nice? No? Okay.
You do not look well, Mr. Silverbridge.
Forgive my not rising. Unsteady on my pegs of late.
My news will not improve your condition. Thomas Pratt has been brutally murdered.
Oh, how dreadful. Why was he killed?
The motive is unclear, but he was certainly involved in the formula's disappearance from the ministry. The vigorous investigation that you quashed is now not only justified, it is urgently necessary. My brother will expect your support. Will you assist him?
No. I mean, oh my heavens,
Oh dear.
What is your diagnosis, Doctor? His coloration is discouraging. Is he in danger?
I think not. His pulse is weak, but regular. He's fainted. The convulsions are not serious.
Why should the news of Pratt affect him, sir?
Pratt was not your only subject, but there is no necessary cause and effect. He may have a feeble constitution. In any case, he should revive momentarily.
The boy favours his mother's physical features.
Fortunate boy.
More than a little spoiled, I suspect, and motherless for some time.
You go too far, Holmes. You saw her picture in the hall.
But I didn't see her, nor evidence of her, nor of any woman for that matter. I can't make anything of the scratches on the table.
Is it some kind of code? Ciphers are your special subject, Holmes.
It's simply impossible to see what's there. What do you perceive, Doctor? Is it not a peculiar room?
There is no explanation that would prevent me from calling it odd. The mix of adult and child effects is unique.
I like the idea of it. I hope it is a sign of things to come. Father never allowed Mycroft and me in his study.
Oh, yes, thank you, I think.
Don't worry, we won't be here too long.
Did you know Pratt well?
No, seemed a civil chap. A little dissipated. There were rumours. What happened?
He was shot and discarded in the Thames, like a sewer rat.
If he was the thief, I should think the matter of the document's disappearance is closed.
Hardly. We should all want to know why he stole it, and for whom. Your committee will be especially interested in what he did with it, and my brother will want to know why the initial inquiry was abandoned. I assure you, questions will be raised.
You'll have to excuse me, gentlemen. I'm not feeling well.
Only a few more questions, please.
Why did you move to terminate the investigation into the theft?
In the end, it was unanimous accepting Mycroft. The document was deemed insignificant, all things considered.
Flapdoodle. Others may have calculated the political consequences should the disappearance be exposed, but not you, I think. Was your vote coerced?
What an asinine question, of course not. I'm my own man on all issues.
What I see around me refutes that contention.
My domestic arrangements are no concern of yours.
Wrong, Mr. Silverbridge. Whatever motivates you concerns me. I believe you were coerced, and I will ferret out the truth, the consequences be damned. That's your son's portrait, isn't it? Handsome lad. Where is he now?
Virgil is at school at Marylebone in Windsor. He's a day pupil.
He looks a clever boy. Must take after his mother. I believe I'll call on him.
Mr. Holmes, please don't. I beg you. Stop. You don't know what you're doing. I must not assist. But please.
Oh dear.
Pepplethwaite, where is Virgil Silverbridge?
I saw him off to school on a Windsor train.
His father believes the boy is in danger. You suspect the same, or you're dimmer than I think.
The master's worried sick, Mr. Holmes, as you've seen, and he's frightening me. He's eaten nothing. The fainting is worse than when his missus passed away. It must have to do with Virgil. Nothing else would undo him.
What's happened? What's different? When did he change?
He brought home a letter yesterday on pink paper. I saw it when I lighted the fire. He did not confide its contents to me, but he has been closeted away since then. Hasn't left the room. It falls apart in private.
His jacket has no pockets, and there is no paper on his desk. Do you know where the letter is now?
I never saw it out of his hand. He may have burned it.
I don't believe Silverbridge destroyed it, but given his condition, I don't think he will voluntarily admit it exists, let alone divulge its contents. We must have that letter, Watson.
And I'm sure we will.
Can you rouse him, Watson?
The man is under duress, Holmes. Surely you must see that. Some strain is tearing him apart.
I do see it, Doctor. And I should be very surprised were his son not the cause of it. His house is given over to the boy. His thoughts may be similarly situated.
Completely speculative, Holmes. Though I'm sure you could defend it if pressed.
How shall we use the opportunity presented by his incapacity?
Search for clues by all means. Something is going on here.
Well, that's been the plan so far with every location that we've been to.
Do you have a recommendation, Doctor?
I'm stymied, Holmes. Must we reconnoitre?
Perhaps. His behavior is more than strange. We must find the cause of it.
And we will. Nice.
What is it, Holmes?
It's an opening move, Watson. PQ4, PQB4, NQB3, PK4. It's a variation on the famous Queen's Gambit. Probably saw his father make the move. But why write it down?
Why indeed? And that is a chess move. And there is a chess set just here.
Note the Windsor postmark, the lip gloss on the adhesive, and stationer's watermark.
If your committee's investigation continues or the police learn of this note, Virgil's temporary absence will become permanent. Compliance will ensure his safe return in a few days' time.
I guess it's now time to wake up Silverbridge again.
Oh, yes, thank you, I think.
The note is genuine, isn't it? He is missing.
Yes, when the headmaster reported Virgil's absence, I had already received the note. I said the boy was ill.
Kidnapping is an atrocious crime, and extortion is as bad. But there is more at stake here than your son's well-being.
Virgil is my heir and only child. I could not jeopardize his safety for the sake of a classified document.
You may have jeopardized the security of your country.
To my everlasting shame, I fear you are right. It was a difficult choice, Mr. Holmes. Pray you never have to make it.
I will not judge you, sir. This crime is a strand in a tortuously tangled knot of theft, murder, and conspiracy. Despite the note's warning, I must try to unravel this snarl of deception and perfidy. You are wrong to assume the kidnapper's goodwill. Virgil is temporarily useful to them. When he ceases to be, who knows what will happen? One does not trust the word of extortionists. He must be urgently found.
My hopes and Virgil's too rest with you, Mr. Holmes.
I'm sure that we will find him.
Can you spare a picture of the boy?
Of course. He's bigger now, and his hair has lost most of its lovely red.
And what about something that is particularly his?
Take anything.
Is there any more you can tell us, Mr. Silverbridge?
I'm afraid not. I have expended all my energy trying and failing to justify my culpable silence. I may have harmed my country and done nothing for my boy.
Lose that thought, sir. Conserve your strength for the struggle to come.
Okay, let's go.
We're for Windsor, Doctor. Any pertinent ideas?
None you haven't considered. Shall we renew our acquaintance with a certain redoubtable hound?
You know my methods. Use the best tool for the job. If your hair is on fire, don't try to put it out with a hammer.
Do you know who holds the boy?
Not at all. But I do know that a woman with dubious taste in cosmetics sealed the ransom note. I presume she posted it. It is likewise clear that she did not write the note.
Clear to you, perhaps. A professional opinion would not be amiss.
Now, if you've played the first game or watched my playthrough of the first game, then you'll probably know which hounds they're talking about. And you may have noticed that I was a bit premature in clicking on this. Now we can pick it up. Wow. I really was not expecting that. Oh, okay. I thought there was more conversations with the butler. Never mind. Right. I swear Toby was down here. Yes, he is.